I'm Terry Griffiths, and you might remember me from such presentations as Origins and Principles. What I want to look at today is whole brain learning. And what we talk about that with 16 people in a class, we know that you are not necessarily going to be able to cater for everybody in your class. They're what they call their learning styles or styles of learning. Because we in the military especially talk about all the different styles of learning and different things like Belbin and MBTI, SDI and all these things that we have been taught through our promotion courses about profiling people. What happened years ago, Caulfield et al. And so those others that went through and looked at the evidence about what styles of learning you could cater for, came up with a number of things. Now actually, some of the things that we learn on our promotion courses, they've actually been poo-pooed, a lot of them. And what I mean by that is that they said that they're more management tools than learning tools. So Caulfield and a number of others, they did some research into what type of approaches you could use that catered for more people. Now things like surface and deep approaches seem to rate quite highly, whether somebody was an expert in it or whether everybody got the basics of everything. It seemed to work. Allison Hayes, their system worked. Herman's whole brain model and their whole brain learning. And that's what we want to do if we can get the whole of the brain to learn. So what makes an effective learning style, if you like? Well, the ones that came out top with Caulfield's report were the ones that match learning styles to preferences. No, they're the ones that actually didn't go very well. So actually we don't type people. What we wanted to do is encourage learners to use unfamiliar preferences. Now, for those of us who have, jobs at home and different things we sort of never get round to, sometimes it's because they are unfamiliar. And what Herman and his whole brain model said, that we have got different parts of the brain. And actually, let's not find out exactly what people are and teach to that person. Let's maybe look at what we can do in the classroom. Why can't we set our lesson out that covers them all? Because chances are our students in class will match these. And what we were talking about with a number of these elements were that there were people who like the theorist side of things, want to know why, are logical, analytical and like the facts. Yeah, we like that. Innovators, very experimental, like to look into different things, the whole holistic thing. There's others that like to be organised and very sequential, very planned, very detailed. There's lots of things. Now within this section on this self-study under whole brain learning, you'll also find the profiling type tool that we can look as to what we like to do and therefore the other ones that we should concentrate on, not just the ones we like. Because sometimes feeling-based and kinesthetic and emotional things, not everybody's particularly happy with experimenting with. What this is all about, and Herman said with his whole brain learning model, is if you can incorporate all these things in your class, then you don't have to worry about profiling everybody to make sure that we target them. Because if we do all these in the classroom, then actually we'll cover just about everybody anyway. Now when we talk about left and right brain, parts of the brain, it is a metaphor. Most of the time you will be one side or the other, about 62%, and then it slowly goes down. The conflicting opposites can be, but it's only about 7% of people. So basically, what Herman said is, we might not feel very humanitarian, but actually, if we're pushed into that direction, like a lot of things that we're not really sure about and we don't like doing, we often learn a lot about. So what Herman said was, if you can introduce these things into your classroom and get people to venture into places that they're not so keen on, they will learn more. So, in conclusion, all the tools that we have had through our careers are profiling tools. We like to put people in pigeonholes, but that doesn't go very well for differentiation either. So what this says is, If you look at all the different parts and the way people are made up, don't try and cater specifically for them, because you'll fail. But what you can do is, if you can introduce lots of different parts as to how people like to work, chances are, push them in that direction they're not comfortable with, they will learn more. Have a look at some of the other elements within whole brain learning. And maybe there's some bits in there that you can look at. And if you can tailor your lesson to cover as much of that as possible and get people to go there, chances are they'll learn more and remember it longer. Thank you.